Hello, thanks for joining me for another review. Right, today we've got a pretty damn special beer from Belgium, and this is a beer from the Brouwerij De Dolle, and this is their special Reserva Oerbier. I'm probably butchering that up. And this is what they call it, a Flanders Oud Bruin, an old brown. This is the 2015 vintage. There's various vintages on Untapped. So this is basically an aged in oak barrel aged beer, fermented in the bottle, 13% ABV, and yeah, it's a 330ml bottle. I'm currently in my good friend Saison Sai if you're on Untapped, so I'll be linking him on that. And yeah, he's pulled this one out of the cellar, and we're going to see what this is all about. So apparently it's quite a scarce beer to get hold of. This particular beer has only had just over, nearly 1,400 ratings, so we'll get into that later. I'll give my ratings and everything else, but let's get to the aroma. So the beer in a glass, yeah, we kind of mentioned it when we first poured it. It's looking like a barley wine. It's kind of got that kind of slightly mahogany, dark mahogany kind of hues coming through the beer. Not much of a head when it's first poured, of course. 13%, it's really not going to be. It's got some kind of alcohol legs as you swirl the beer around the glass. It creates a kind of a thin layer of head around the edge, but apart from that, yeah, you wouldn't know really. It's going to be 13% after that, but let's get an aroma then. Yeah, and it's just that real kind of, I don't know, it's like a balsamic kind of vinegar-esque kind of aroma. But then you're getting, as the bottle says, which you know before you crack it open, oak. So you're getting the oak tannins on this one, for sure. But you're also getting quite a bit of the ABV on the aroma. But yeah, it's got that kind of, and I always say it with some of these styles of beers, the Belgian beers, it's got that, there's a slight kind of, I don't know what it is, it just reminds me of a kind of a mature cheese of sorts, cheddar or something. It's got that kind of whiff about it. Maybe a kind of onion and cheese kind of, on a stick, that kind of aroma, but then with that added kind of sour note. So let's just give it a try and then see what we get. Cheers. Cheers, Si. On my days. Okay. That's strong. Wow. I reckon if I had this beer 4 or 5 years ago, which I did in 2015 at the Great British Beer Festival, met up with a couple of other beer tubers, and I think I had an Italian sour, and it completely ripped me palate apart, and to be honest with you, I didn't like it. This is that beer like 5 years almost later, and yeah, this is not a beer for, if you're getting into sours and things like this, you may not like it. I think you have to be a slightly more experienced in the style to enjoy it. I might be wrong, of course, you never know until you try these things, but that's what I would say. It's a very kind of strong, complex kind of sour sort of thing. But yeah, the oak tannins are coming through. There's almost like a cherry note. There's that kind of slight tartness going on with it. Wow, that is a beer and a half. I've not had too many in this style, but when I've had them in the last sort of maybe 2 years, I've really enjoyed them. That kind of Flanders, kind of red kind of thing. It's that, but I'm actually drinking it. I'm getting more kind of the alcohol on the nose. Once it's in the palate, around the mouth, it's kind of not getting it, but I'm starting to feel a little bit of warmth down in the pit of the stomach kind of thing. 30 seconds after you've had a little swig kind of thing. So, but yeah, it's an absolutely wonderful beer. There's not much of a commercial description to this that I've had a quick look before, but is there any other thing? It just goes into government warnings, basically at the bottom of the bowl. Product of Belgium, 11.2 fluid ounce beer, imported by B United International Incorporated, whoever they are. Not much else, but yeah, there's various vintages of this. Ingredients: water. Is there an English part here? Looks like water, malt, barley. Yeah, it contains barley, hops, hop flowers, yeast, sugar, fermented beer, unfiltered, best before C-cap and all that sort of jazz, which I think it was aged for 2 years before it was put in the bottle. That's my kind of like impression of the cap. Bottled in September of not September. It might be September. It says September 2017. Then we was thinking it could be July. I don't know. Whatever. Not important. One more sip then, I'll give it a rating. Cool. It's a style I don't drink a lot of. I don't think I could drink a lot of this style personally, but when I do try them, I always love them. So it's kind of maybe sort of a once a month kind of style beer for me. But yeah, wonderful stuff. I think it's one of them beers when your palate's used to certain styles and you go off the beaten track to another style that you don't drink much of, you kind of really like, whoa, your palate's like, yeah, new flavours and all this sort of thing. And that's, for me, one of them beers. I'm going to give this, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10, so it's a 4.25 on the Untapped scale. Going to Untapped then, it's well, when we check this in, it might be 1,400 reviews, say, or check-ins, ratings if you want on Untapped, coming in at 4.18, so that's pretty damn high for that amount of ratings. So yeah, world-class beer for sure, but then it's a Belgian beer, what do you expect? Anyway, you've had this one before from, let me try and remember the brewery again, De Dolle Brewery in Belgium, and this is their Oerbier Special Reserva, a Flanders Oud Bruin, 13%. Let us know what you think, if you can get it. Thanks for watching then, cheers again to Si, and I'll see you on the next review. Cheers.